Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Okay, we're back. I thank y'all for tuning back in with us as we proceed to give you that Clutch Sports Media 365. It is Monday, though. We're back to our Clutch Monday review. Leaving it off where we left. Well, I left off with Richard Sherman. I was talking about him because, we did the Julio Jones. Everybody should know by now Julio Jones is a Tennessee Titan. Shout out to them Titans for getting Julio. Alright. That's enough. Because I thought we was going to get Julio in New England. But nevertheless, congratulations, Julio. Alright. Richard Sherman, like I said, his best fit would be Arizona. The GM, Steve Kim, has signed multiple vets. Okay? He signed wideout A.J. Green, defensive end J.J. Watt, and cornerback Malcolm Butler. So if you were able to add Richard Sherman to that equation over there, Arizona is already trending up on defense. And they have a nice offense that's going to cause trouble. So I'm on the lookout for Arizona to continue to do it because right now they have a hole opposite of Malcolm Butler, which they have to address. K.J. Wright, linebacker, Seattle Seahawks. Of course, he should stay there. 86% on the field, 86 tackles, 11 for losses, 10 pass breakups, 2 sacks, and an interception. With his production, he's not easing up on his salary demands for Seattle. This is why he's on the list, because the production outweighs the compensation, if you want to call it that. The man wants to get the bag. He wants to get paid. However, the market set the value, and an 11-year vet remains a free agent. Okay. He's been out there. Linebacker, New Orleans, not enough money. Few other teams I could think of, but not really nobody off the top of the head. Before the 2021 draft, Seattle GM John Schneider seemed surprised that Wright had not signed a deal. Seattle is a best fit to stay. 32-year-old has head coach Pete Carroll says the door is still open for Wright's return. So, if he doesn't find a payday somewhere, there's the door open. Come on back. GM was shocked that he didn't sign the deal. Considering Seattle had 3 draft picks in the draft. This is your best option at a shot. Dallas has sold up. They're dealing with Van Der Esch. They're not about to pick up a KJ Wright contract. Baltimore is making moves over there. Buffalo may be. All right. Speaking of Baltimore, running back Gus Edwards has signed a extension, $10 million, 4-year deal, $10 million. So congratulations to Gus Edwards for that. Congratulations. I like to see when they get paid. That's what the man right here, KJ Wright, wants. That's what KJ Wright wants. He wants the payday. He's produced, and Seattle defense was not good. Really, they subpar. So I can see why they're playing a stalemate with this check, but we need more production. All right, like a safety, Malik Hooker. He was a top-tier ball-hawking free safety who battled injury through 4 seasons, but at 25, he made 20 career games. Hooker had a nasty Achilles injury that landed him on IR, but he has signed a deal with Pittsburgh, so he's off the market. Edge rusher Justin Houston, top all free agent defenders. Because of his position and production over the last 2 seasons, Houston recorded 9 sacks, 21 tackle losses, and without missing a start. But, of course, Indianapolis has drafted edge rusher Kwity Paye and Odeingbo. Oh my God, I can't never get this dude's name right. I'll listen to it more than once. But they drafted him. And this looks like, he could be a Baltimore Raven. He got options if they potentially let him go. Morris Moses, I remember him going to Chicago. I think Chicago ain't let him go. Ryan Rivera cut the guy. The Bears were in there because they needed to get rid of Tevin Jenkins. And, of course, they did it. Steven Nelson, cornerback. 28-year-old has drawn interest from 14 clubs. The Jets, if interested, they can offer a high-end salary. Gang Green has the third most cap space. The Jets have a lot of money. The Jets can make a lot of moves. The Jets need to go ahead and just grab everything they can grab because they're going to need it this season, starting off fresh. Man. Todd Gurley, I think him and Detroit within head coach Dan Campbell from Detroit was very interested in the running back. We haven't heard any news about it, but of June 3rd, 2021, I think he was still available. You're pairing him, like Detroit is rebuild. They're always in rebuild, so it's like you really do need to get the running backs sold up. You got DeAndre Swift and James Williams. So adding him, and then also the relationship with the starting QB that you just traded and got, Jared Goff, that's pairing them two back together, and we seen them in the Super Bowl together, win the championship together. So you are also just sprucing it up because you're missing pieces. Galladay is gone. Marvin Hall's gone. Marvin Jones Jr. is gone. Detroit, you're building your lineup. You're building your defense. You got a quarterback. You got some running backs. You still got T.J. Hockenson. I'm gonna give Hockenson is like top 15, top 10 tight end. It's just that Detroit talent gets overshadowed by losing. It sucks, but hopefully this year, they would be a lot better. If not, come up by kneecaps, Oh, gosh. San Francisco is reaching out to D.D. Westbrook, the Jags' former wide receiver, coming off an injury. ACLU will have talks with the 49ers. Now, the 49ers are also looking to stockpile up after losing Kendrick Bourne to the Patriots. And they're out shopping, Jags and the Eagles trade cornerbacks. Jags cornerback Josiah Scott to the Eagles in exchange for cornerback Jamison Houston and a 2023 6th-round pick. Smart move right there. Both of them need to definitely Jacksonville. All right. San Fran has signed Marquise Lee, former Jags wide receiver, signed with the 49ers after opting out in 2020. See, he was one of those people that the Patriots had picked up, and then he opted out. The Patriots didn't use him. They lost the last season. He opted out, but he played 6 games over the past 3 seasons, so he gets to reestablish himself in San Fran. So congratulations to Marquise Lee. He's on to 49ers as they were looking at Westbrook. They took one of the Jags. Cincinnati Bengals signed Trent Taylor, slot receiver and punt returner of former 49ers. The New York Giants, they signed Calvin Benjamin. Y'all remember Calvin Benjamin used to be the wide receiver? Big guy. He signed with the Giants as a tight end, giving Evan Ingram and him a ride. There you go. Because Evan Ingram didn't even have he was there, but he just didn't do much. But this year, they got Calvin Benjamin. All right, Detroit Lions cut John Atkins, veteran nose tackle. They brought in Brian Price to replace him. He was cut. That was last Wednesday. He was cut. All right. Man, it's getting into the OTAs, right? We have signs that a few injured quarterbacks that were in, like Joe Burrows, he had looking good out there. Dak has been out there doing his thing. Shout out to Mr. Prescott. Shout out to both of those guys. Let them give it because I'm glad to see them back on the field. Alrighty. There is a lot of little loose ends around the NFL. Okay. We have a Landon Collins. Missed 9 games with Achilles tear. Washington football team could save 12.7 against the cap, releasing Collins. Then there's Jordan Hicks. He has permission to seek a trade, so no one has come forward. C.J. Mosley, releasing the 4-time Pro Bowler isn't really realistic. The Jets would eat almost $16 million. A trade would save them $6 million and get them from under one of the league's uglier contracts. So those 3 names right there are all defense, and all could say they're ball club cements. But then I think with the Mosley deal, you would have to end up paying them for show guaranteed salary for him to come. I don't, it's like, no, I wouldn't even do it. But somebody's going to be out there to do it. All right. Dallas, like I said, reported earlier, Dallas wants to keep Van Der Esch, and no, they're not trading him. Teams have been asking about it, and of course Dallas has been denying it and saying they're not trading him. But later on, declined to pick up the 5-year option, so that gives teams the end. I guess it would give it'll give the appearance that they are trying to drive up some value for this guy, let them see somebody wants to come in and what they can get from him. Jimmy Graham faded to the guy Cole Kmet, who came in opposite Graham last season. Now the Bears could be like, hey, somebody want to take old Jimmy. Arizona could be in a potential market because Jimmy might be cheaper than Zach Ertz. Zach's on the market too. Jimmy Graham's on there too. Sony Michel has been rumored to be also available along with Stephon Gilmore. Why, Bill? Why? Leave it alone. Let's keep Gilly. Let's keep Sony. But, there could be some teams that come looking for these players right here. And, of course, teams are not going to not shop them around to try and get a good deal, It's business. It's the business side of it. But that right there gives me my Monday review of some of the stuff that's going on around the NFL right now and who's still available, who's went where, who's trying to cycle for a better deal. Because the Titans held out. Well, not really, but the news, it got to the point where it was almost like, y'all could have been did this deal. But, oh well. Julio's in Tennessee. We're waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. Green Bay has said they're not trading Rodgers. They're not trading him. Well, only time will tell. We'll see, because tomorrow is mandatory, and we will see if Mr. Rodgers decides to show up. We know Devontae Adams said he will be there, but we'll see if Mr. Rodgers shows up. In the meanwhile, I'm your host, Jay, The Perspective. Thank you for tuning in to our Clutch Monday review here at Clutch Sports Media 365. Stay tuned as we bring you more Clutch exclusives, Clutch breakthroughs, Clutch updates. Follow us on Twitter at Clutch SM365. Thank you and stay tuned.